So this is gonna be tough. Not really tough. I was very much debating whether to do the prizes from Summer Smarties, and some of you are like, wait, what? Whether to do the prizes from Summer Smarties at the beginning of the school year, in the middle, or at the end of the school year. And I kind of wanted to do it at the end of the school year. But people, I think at this point, are like, Mr. Hudson, are you ever going to give out prizes? And I like to be a man of my word. So, like, I have a dozen gift cards in my hand right here, ranging from $5 up to $25. And there are a dozen people who put in extra work over the summer, and more people than a dozen people did Summer Smarties, but there are a dozen winners that we pulled from different weeks through the summer. Emails were going back and forth home to your parents. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. But emails came home to you guys saying, hey, welcome to Phoenix. One thing Mr. Hudson does is this Summer Smarties program. It's optional, but it was on Khan Academy. So some of us chose to do extra stuff on Khan Academy, and based off time spent working, not how smart you are, not how many things you completed, based off time spent working, won some prizes. So math lunch today is gonna start late. Do not come to math lunch until I do my thing in the cafeteria and say, okay, now if you want math help. But it may just be a real small math lunch. Like, I've already got a couple people who have asked to come. So unless you've already talked to me, I might just say, just do lunch like normal, right? Just like stay in the cafeteria. But I got prizes to give out. So we will be mathematical about it. We will draw numbers from a hat. And the number that people draw will determine the order which they go in. And literally, this will lead to a lesson later this week. And like, if Eve is one of our prize winners, what's her chance of drawing the number 1 and getting the first draw of the gift card up there? Because if you end up with the last pick of a gift card, you might end up with a $5 gift card, right? But if you're the first pick, I got a $25 Chuck E. Cheese gift card because one of our parents was super awesome. I don't know why that slide is there. Oh, I think I changed the wrong this. All right, so we are hopping on to Desmos. So if your Chromebook is not up yet, go ahead and pull your Chromebook up. Yes. It was your mom who donated the gift cards? Oh my gosh. Well, it's appropriate that both you and Phoebe were winners then. So she was making you guys do that work, I'm guessing. Or encouraging you.
Not encouraging,
forcing. Not encouraging, forcing. All right, so while you're getting into Desmos, I think most of us are there. John? The place with all the what? All the horses? In Desmos?
Yeah.
I think you just log in to your student thing, and then you click student homepage. Scroll down a tiny bit. It's on the left-hand side of the screen. It says go to student homepage. There you go. Here you go, log in. You sometimes get stuck in the login loop for a second. So on your graph paper, I should pause the Desmos, but guys, I'm hoping that you can use self-control right now. I heard a couple oh shoots, so I'll wait while you get out graph paper if you don't have it out yet. I need to get more out of my closet, but guys, I got tons of graph paper. I'm never going to run out, so please use my graph paper. If you have graph paper at home, leave it there. Use up mine. Seriously. You don't need to bring more from home. I've got tons here. Maybe not literal tons, because how much is a ton? How many pounds is a ton? Does anyone know? It's more than that. 2,000, yeah. So if I had a ton of graph paper, if we were speaking literally, it'd be 2,000 pounds of graph paper. So this is 5.1.2. We're also taking a little bit of a soft start because it's Monday, right? Somebody asked me this morning, hey, Mr. Hudson, do we have homework today? And I forget if I said this last week or not, so you can stop me if I did. Quarter 3 tends to be the hardest quarter. The most work intense, the most amount of homework, the most amount of masteries, and where teachers expect the most out of you. And it's the longest because we have the least amount of breaks. But here's the good news. For math, nothing changes. Nothing gets any harder. There's no extra tests or extra homework. Did we have homework pretty much every day back in quarter 1? Yeah. Did we have homework every day in quarter 2? Yeah. Are we going to have homework pretty much every day in quarter 3? Yeah. So keep up with it. Guys, this. Boom, boom, boom. Don't let yourself fall behind this week. This is really kind of like week 1. Last week didn't really count, even though it was the first week of the quarter. So you've got homework to do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Don't let yourself fall behind. Right? This is where, like, sometimes you got to wake up early and do homework in the morning if you didn't do it the night before. Or sometimes you got to make yourself stop playing the video game and actually get your work done. Or team up with people. John? You can turn it in today if you want, because they're all separate. So, like, you don't have 5.2.1 yet, but I'll have that for you guys tomorrow, and then you'll have 2 days to do it. But hey, not right at this moment. Let's get into Desmos first, and then you guys can get up and get moving if you want. So, John, stop what you're doing and stick with me for a second. So, what we're going to talk about today, and what you can label your graph paper, is discounts. So, true story, I went to Home Depot yesterday with the main objective of buying a heater for my wife's office. General note, space heaters are dangerous. One just started a fire in New York in an apartment building, so if you use space heaters at home, just be careful with them. So we bought a new one because our old one we decided needed retired. And I was debating, I have a coupon that can get me $35 off of $175, or I have a different coupon that can get me 10% off my entire purchase. Guys, I'm not making any of this up. This is like what it's like to be an adult where you're debating how do I get the best deal off of these things. Now, that problem I just threw at you, kind of complicated, so I'm going to give you a slightly easier one. Here's what we're going to be analyzing. Which discount is better? A $20 discount? Or a 20% discount? Ooh, some people already have some thoughts that they're trying to spit out before we even start the activity. So our Desmos activity that we're going to do for a few minutes before we come back and like write anything else down, our Desmos activity is going to help us explore what's a better discount, $20 or 20%. So go ahead and dive into the Desmos. I don't think I've got anyone in there yet, but it's called Dueling Discounts is the activity that I want you finding. It should be there on your student homepage. Please raise your hand if you're having any Desmos issues. You guys are tired this morning, aren't you? All of the school has just been quiet this morning, it feels like, which is okay. It's our first 5-day week, but then next week is a 4-day week. Because Martin Luther King Day is Monday, guys. There's no school on Monday. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Isabella, you having any issues? Oh, you're in now. Jesus, you having any issues? Go ahead and start it. Amanda, are you good? Ooh, I do. I have one with her name on it. Sorry, Amanda, I meant to give you this. I just forgot because you came up to me with questions first. So make sure you put your name on the front of that. First and last. I don't know if we have other Amandas here. Maybe in 8th grade.
I don't know. There might not be an Amanda.
Ooh. Some interesting debate here on the blender. I'm going to go ahead and put on some music so I stop talking. I just want you guys for a minute to, like, and because you're tired, just kind of work through this on your own. Think about stuff. Type a little bit so I can see what you're thinking. Remember, you can always go back and change answers. So there's no concern about marking an answer that you're like not totally certain on, because you can always go back and change it. That spinner looks super fancy. Right? It's especially if it has a $20 off coupon. Are any of my advisory kids in this class? Well, Franco. Yeah. So it doesn't. Oh, and Mia. Yeah, we got a few of my advisory people here. I think we should name him Alejandro, but that's just me.
That's a good name.
It was my friend's brother who we hung out with down in Mexico as well, which is why I want to name him Alejandro. If you're still looking at the blender, it's probably time to move on to the next slide. Guys, this is really interesting. Look at this. We are evenly split, and I have you anonymized, so these are not your real names. One person said it didn't matter which coupon we used for the blender, or that they might have marked it doesn't matter for like, well, I don't know. We're like missing enough information. But then half of you said 20% off, and half of you said $20 off. That's just interesting. Keep going. And remember, we can go back and change our answers if after we answer a couple more questions, we've got some better thoughts. Interesting. Miss Martin, this is fascinating.
Yeah, there's another one though.
Come here, you should come look at this. Okay, now they're starting to change answers.
Right
What?
as I walk up.
The car, right? 6 different students said $20 off on it, which also come, but then the TV, almost all of them had immediately said the percent. This is like, do we just have no idea
They
what
probably
cars
haven't bought a
cost?
car
Yeah,
and
like,
didn't know.
we know that TVs are expensive. Like,
Yeah.
This is fascinating.
That's funny. I just bought a car and mine was nowhere near percentage off at all.
I'm looking at buying a truck, which is, I should have just bought a truck years ago.
Yeah, it's hard to do anything now.
There are no trucks. Like, that's the problem. I'll pay as much to buy a used truck.
Oh yeah, that's why I
Ooh.
just bought a new one.
We're
Yeah, that's
evenly
fine.
split on the shoes.
Yeah, that one was evenly split. I also wanted to buy a new. Well, we were looking into getting a new couch because we're moving, and I tried to buy one. Like,
Do I want to? Well, I mean, sure I will.
I tried to buy one at Value City, and they have like no. Value City used to have like a clearance section.
Yeah.
They have nothing anymore. We went to like 3 different Value Cities yesterday. None of them had clearance.
So now is where hopefully they go back and change it. This is why I'm trying to not say anything to them for a few minutes so they can figure it out on their own. I bet you it's more expensive than that these days.
Maybe
I'm
not.
betting it's, we could look it up.
I don't know. It depends on if it's new.
Price. Well, of course it's got to be new.
Oh, is it a
Who would
Prius?
buy a used Prius? I mean, it's a battery. Ooh, it came down.
Yeah, those aren't that expensive anymore. I thought it was a Toyota. That's why I was like, oh, maybe it might be.
Toyota makes Prius.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. I'm surprised that they left like the Toyota branding here
Mm-hmm.
and didn't just make it some random car. But see, if I search a Tacoma,
Oh, those are.
which is what I want, that's not as bad as I thought, but still,
Yeah.
I figured I'd be looking at like 30 grand.
Yeah, those are expensive.
Ooh, somebody went way back to the. Ooh, somebody's going back to the blender to change their answer. Guys, it's really fun watching you while you're doing this. Yeah, and this activity doesn't mark right or wrong because
Oh,
at
I
this
was
point,
looking looking at the names, I'm like, wait a minute, these are randomized names.
Yeah.
That is not.
They're famous mathematicians. You don't remember Sylvia Bozeman? She did something.
No.
I think she's got something named after her, actually. Alright, now we are talking about... At max, I'm going to give you 5 more minutes, but I probably won't. But I did just flip my timer to keep me honest. And you don't have to be done with the activity. I just want to talk to you guys. Yeah, Blender's fascinating. You guys are tied on what you think about the Blender. So when you get to this page, this is letting you know the results of what the class has chosen. Right? With everything. I'm going to pause you for a second, guys, because I think if you don't read this, you might be confused. Here are the results of the survey that we did with the class, right? We are the population. If we want to start talking about statistics, we are what's called the population. We asked the population, what do you think about this question? And we got results, right? So for the Blender, we asked, what discount do you want to use? The $20, 20%, and we're tied. 47% of you said use the 20%. 47% of you said use the $20. But what's fascinating to me is that if I drop down to the TV, this is almost completely one-sided. 94% of you said use the % off coupon, while only 6% of you said use the $20 off coupon. So it seems like as we've worked through the activity, we're starting to kind of get sort of like something that helps us decide. I should probably use cards. Vincent, do you want to chime in here and help us? Like, what are you thinking about when you're trying to decide which coupon to use?
How expensive it is, because if it's super expensive, you want to use the percent. But if it's not, then you want to use the $20 because that will help you more than the 20%.
So you're saying the original cost of the item, you guys, you might want to write this down. I'm not saying you have to, but you might want to. So what Vincent said was if the item is expensive, use percent. If the item is less expensive, or we can say cheaper, so why though? I'm going to unpause the activity so you guys can keep playing with it for a couple minutes. Why is Vincent saying that? All right, go ahead and keep working. I know some of us are kind of bouncing back and forth, changing some answers, which is good. Guys, if you realize now, like, oh, wait, I should probably go back and switch what I said there, that's good. Go ahead and do that. That's called learning. When you say one thing and you realize, oh, wait, that's learning. I will be honest, this may be the only Desmos for this chapter, so enjoy it. I might be able to incorporate another one, but this chapter is a lot of us just learning how to do the math. You could also look up on my dry erase board. It's got like the next kind of like cheat sheet sort of thing for you. I'm really interested to see what you guys type to me. Huh. Now nobody's saying take $20 off the car.
I wonder why.
What does of tell us to do? Ooh. That's the dangerous thing. Per normally means divide. Of normally means multiply. I should probably pause since I want to pull you guys back. Ha ha ha, Lucas. Alright, I have to share this. I'll anonymize you guys, but I have to share this. Alright, here are some of your awesome answers. Take 20% off and you get 80 over 100, which is essentially what this person's saying is if you take if you take 20% away, you're only paying 80 out of every $100. So literally every $100 they want you to pay, you only have to pay 80 because you get a 20% discount. But this answer I just found really funny. $20 wouldn't make a dent in the car. It's a play on words because a dent. People talk about making a dent in a price, like it barely impacts it. But 20% might make a huge dent. Ha ha, because you don't really want a dent in your car. Ha ha ha. Alright, I'm going to pause you real quick because we need to talk because I realize I only have 15 minutes left. I'll unpause you in a second. Let's talk about the Prius. Right, it's $29,000, and we'll say this Prius has some options because it's a little bit more expensive. Miss Martin and I just looked it up, and the new Priuses aren't quite this expensive. But $29,135. Did I pause you guys?
Yeah, they're odd.
Sweet. Versus $20 off, right? How can I find... I should still use cards, but I set them down. How can I find the percent of something? Layla Graph? How can I find percent of something? How could we find percent of something, also known as the part? We do the thing it says up here, she says, because Layla's brilliant. Up on my board, and it'll live there at least this whole week. And what we're going to put on your paper now, if we want to find the part of something, everyone on your paper write down part, and you can put it in parentheses, because part is kind of a weird word. The part that we're looking for here is how much money do we get to take away, right? We're looking for our discount. Part is always, part equals, please write this on your paper, we're probably going to put it in a box and make it nice and special, percent times whole. Part equals percent times whole. So here, the part that we're looking for is the discount. know I'm asking you to write a few words. I'm sorry. Please write discount. How much is the discount? What percent? If we choose the percent discount. Oh, come on, guys. I think we're just tired this morning. Franco, what's our percent discount they're offering? It's the activity you were just doing in Desmos. What percent? Y'all are asleep this morning. Layla Davis? What percent are we talking about here? 20%. So write down 20% of, I'm going to direct your attention over here because I make this reminder a bunch, of turns into multiplication. So that of 20% of the car's price, we're going to multiply times 29,135. You're gonna want a calculator to do this. I'm not gonna ask you to do this in your head. But what does percent mean? Guys, again, look up here. Because I want you to see that it's up here for you to at any point look at it. 20%, what's percent? Just shout it out. Over 100. So 20% is really 20 over 100 times 29,135. Or I can put it into decimal form, 0.20. Man, I wish the car dealership was offering this right now, because what do you get when you do this math? 5,800 what? That's the discount. Guys, that's how much they're going to take off of your car's price. Or do you want to take $20 off? Clearly, this is a really good deal, right? I can go get like a coffee with that. Guys, 20% of the car's price is almost $6,000 versus $20. Yeah, I'm going to take the 20% here. Questions on how we solved this for the Prius? But I forget what it was. Our blender. Let's do this again. So draw a little squiggly line across your paper. You don't have to, but I would if I was you. Right blender. 20% versus $20. And remember how much the blender we just got told costs? $35. So to find our part, we're going to do 20% of the blender's price, $35. Ooh, I might be able to do some of this math in my head because 20%, right? I'm just going to go ahead and go to decimal form. 0.20.
I explained this on that.
You want to explain how you got your 7? Do you?
It's on the blender thing.
I know, but do you know how you did the math of it?
Yeah.
You want to talk it through?
I did the exact same thing that's on the board.
Right. Can you solve this in your head or do you use a calculator? Okay, we can solve this one in our head, actually. Give me your eyes real quick. 10%. I'm not talking about 20%, but 10% can be found by just taking the decimal that you have and bumping it over one spot. So 10% is $3.50. So 20%, now guys, you can use a calculator, I don't care, but 20% comes out to be $7. 10% is $3.50, 20% is $7. So if I use my percent off coupon, I save $7 on the blender. Or I can use my $20 off coupon. Which is better here? The $20, right? Do you want $7 off your blender? Or do you want $20 off your blender? I'll take $20 off my blender. Thank you very much. I'm going to unpause because I don't think we've made it all the way to the end yet. I'm going to unpause. I'm going to leave this up on the screen if you still need to write that down. Keep rolling up through the spinner and the TV. Huh. That spinner costs $3. Ooh. So somebody said you'll be wasting your $20 coupon? Huh. So guys, some stores... Are you anonymized? You are anonymized. Some stores will literally give you things for free. Like, who's ever been on vacation and there's like coupons for come to our store and we'll give you a free hermit crab or a free like... Anybody? No? Well, we haven't been on vacation in a couple years probably. They got something like a fidget spinner. They wouldn't care if they gave that to you for free. So yeah, you're right. If you use the $20 off coupon, it's essentially free. Or they would owe you money. Right? So then our TV, Ultra H... Ooh, we all agree on that one. All right, keep rolling. You know the question we're going to end up answering is what price would be equal, right? What price of an item would make an equal discount? Keep rolling. Slide 16 is where I really... So I'm going to go ahead and put slide 15 up here. Actually, I'm going to take a picture so I can make it bigger. Hey Zeus, you got any thoughts on this? You don't have to know the answer. I'm just curious if you got any thoughts to share about how our table's kind of broken up. It's okay if you want to pass around. If you're still typing and whatever, that's totally fine. Eve, got any thoughts? Isabella, got any thoughts about the table that we see here? I took the table from slide 16, guys, which has that gap in the middle. Farah, any thoughts from you?
They have a delivery with
Oh my gosh, you're so loud. You know what it is. Laura, any thoughts? Alright, now Mia gets more directed questions. Mia, what do you notice about all of these prices versus all of the prices on the bottom of our table?
Up on the table is a higher price and below is cheaper price.
Yeah, the top of the table is higher price, the bottom of the table is lower price. Carmen, can you give me any more details on the top of the table versus the bottom? Yeah, that middle part, it's going to not matter. Both of the discounts will be the same. So since it doesn't matter, that's why we're trying to say what price of an item makes the discount percent equal to the discount dollars. Absent. Marina, any thoughts on this? You can even just give me observations about the numbers versus the numbers. And guys, you're always welcome to pass, but random cards is just a thing I do to make sure we're talking to everyone. Eli? So these all used our 20%. These all used our $20. Agreed. Aiden? You're good. Grab your calculator. Let's play with these numbers for a second. I want you to get used to calculating percent discounts. And guys, I will say when I do multiplication on my calculator, I use parentheses to keep things looking nicer. So you don't have to, but I will tell you, I think it really does make things look nicer. So when I'm doing 20%, what decimal is 20%? Well, if we don't remember, what's percent tell us to do? Percent out of 100. This should focus up in a second. 20 out of 100. Maybe now it'll focus that it has text on the screen. So 20% is 0.2. Right? So guys, everyone in your calculator, go ahead and type in 20 divided by 100 to practice. If we don't know what decimal a percent is, I know, this is struggling to focus. This is the only issue with this dot cam. This calculator. We'll see if I put more on the screen. Let's start at the bottom of the table. I know you can't really see my screen. What would 20% of $3 be? Not very much. We get like 0.6. Come on. Normally this works at a certain point. I don't know why it just won't work at all today. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. This normally works. There we go. So guys, when we're solving percent problems, what it should look like is if I don't use the parentheses, it might look like this. I like using the parentheses so that I can see like this number versus that number, and there's more than just the star. So 20% is 0.2, but you could just type 0.2, but it looks a little messy then. I like putting 0.2. So, and then I also like putting the 0 after it because it's easier for my brain to remember that's 20%. So we had 20% of $83 for our shoes is still not $20. Anyone have a guess of what number I could put in for the price of the item that will make my answer be 20? Lucas? Try this. In your calculator, 0.20. times 100. Oh, that makes sense. Because, guys, what we just did... I'll write it up here, and then I'll probably ask you to join me. Apparently they're not very tired this morning. Oh, it is almost time to change class. That's just our 8th grade. Guys, this is our 20% out of 100. If we divide by 100, but then like Lucas said, then multiply by 100, the answer that we get is just $20. That same discount. So if we priced an item at $100, 20% is $20. Because percent is out of every 100. We will pick this up here tomorrow. If you need help, come look at my dry erase board. I need to finish this 3rd part, but I will have it done in about 5 minutes. We will take homework questions tomorrow. From both 511 and 512, we'll take homework questions tomorrow. So please work on your homework. Like I said, math lunch will be late today. I got to give out prizes first. Actually, I'm not sure if you all got it.
I do. I did it.
Check your binder. If you don't have 512, raise your hand and I will bring it to you right now. Here is a copy. I know you don't have it. I know I need to just switch yours. Do you have 512, Carmen? Do you have 512? Sure? Because I think only people who grabbed it off my stool have this. If you didn't grab this off my stool on Friday, you need this.
If you grabbed it off the stool before break.
I don't know if I had it crazy before break, did I?
Yes, you did.
Then you're doing better than me. 512, if you did not get it on Friday. You're welcome. You're welcome. I have a fear that I'm going to need to print extras. That's how this is happening. If you realize you already have it, just bring it back to me. Let's do it like that. If I give this to you and you realize you already have it, sweet. And you guys can always come get it later if you need it.
Have you printed
That's what I'm doing on my planning period. That is what I'm doing on my planning period.
Yay!
So come back and see me later. Thank you, you too. See you, Miss Martin. I may want to pick your brain later to see how effective this actually is.